It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back as always. Welcome back, my friends, to the toys that never end. Apparently never end. At some point they will end, right? At least the toys from Japan, the rare ones. And man, oh man, is this another rare one? And this is a character toy. Which toy? Well, by now you could probably look at the picture and guess for yourself. But before we get into it, get comfortably ensconced in your big, giant chair. Grab your cup of coffee, clank it a bit, take a sip. I'm still working on cheap water. Get a snack in hand and focus. Pay attention, because you're not going to see anything like this anywhere else on the internet but this channel. Damn it all. So, with that out of the way, what do we have today? Well, we have superhero cyborg robot boy, almost like a Pinocchio story, Astro Boy. And what is Astro Boy doing? Well, he's cruising in a freaking gull-wing Mercedes. So, before I talk about anything else, I have to tell you my gull-wing story. And you may have heard this on my live stream. The toys I unveil on my live stream, I have to remind us. And some of you might be saying, why does he keep talking about his live stream? Because some of you may have seen this, and I don't want to be redundant. But if you haven't, you have to check out the live streams. Although I have to do a better job of being consistent with a time and also an announcement. But anyway, yes, I did unveil this then. And back in the 80s, when I was a wee bit, there was a dealer when I was in South Florida as a student, a new student, a freshman probably. There was a dealership that had a gull-wing Mercedes from the 50s. I think these are like 55 or 6, something like that. They're asking $25,000. Now, if you know the prices today, they're in excess of $1 million, up to 1.2, 1.3 million. So I used to say to people, because and I actually wanted to buy the car. I had no idea what it was, the rarity. Well, obviously back then nobody knew. But I guess in retrospect, that was a boatload of money. And I was trying to figure out, could I buy it? I just thought, man, this is a cool car to drive to school. Could you imagine driving like some freaking teenager driving a gull-wing Mercedes as a freaking college car? That would have been something, huh? And we think back like, oh, if I only would have bought it. But then this is the thing, a part of the story I never got to. If you were lucky enough to even get something like that, right? At what point, if you don't smash it, crash it, if you could somehow afford to maintain it, right? Because God only knows how expensive it would be to maintain. At what point, when the values start going up, do you just bail anyway, right? Because let's face it, in all honesty, and we have to be honest with ourselves, say the car hits 100,000. Most, especially when you're young, let alone a teenager, you're going to be like, holy cow, I bought this for, 20 grand. Now I can get 100. So most people would bail out. And you think about that. And any investment like that, right? When you get in on it early, it could be stocks too, right? You might get in early and then, and we'll use that as the benchmark, 25,000. If that grows to 100 or 200 or 300, most people will be like, I'm out. Maybe it happened with Bitcoin, right? How many people would take it all the way, I mean, you're talking, how long did it take from, the 80s to get to 1 million? I don't know, 35 years, let's say. So most people would have bailed long before that. Now is it going to get to 1.5, 2 million? Who knows? Who knows? But I suspect most people won't hold on to something unless they're already wealthy and they just bought it because they wanted to sock it away. But it's just an interesting, conversation, discussion, if you will, to think about how people that aren't wealthy and they come across these types of items or investments, how they react as they explode in value, even with the muscle cars. But anyway, so this is Astro Boy, and for some reason he's not flying. He decided he's going to buy this kick-ass gull-wing Mercedes, and the professor there is like, I got a phone call. Get on it, man. And he's cruising with the doors open because he's like extra badass on this. And he's yelling something in kanji, which I can't understand. And he's like, stop bothering me. I wanted to like pick up chicks, I think. And this, by the way, is Bandai, also SKK and Bandai. And, you know, when I think back, so this, you figure it came out in the mid-60s, right? And the Gullwing Mercedes were like mid-50s, I think 55, 56, 10-year-old car. It was probably cool for the time. But by then, I would imagine the value was probably not that high relative, you know, nowhere near what it is now. And here it just shows you, like, the way it works, I guess. This is the remote version. I guess they made, if I'm not mistaken, because somebody just offered it to me as I was filming this, they made a non-remote version of this, which I probably would have preferred if you want to know the truth. These big clunky remotes, they're a pain in the ass, especially with the steering wheel and the thick cable. Man, they're a pain in the ass to display. But here he is here, just looking all angry and stuff with his spiked hair. And it's kind of the same on both ends. So it's a cool box. I mean, you know, when it comes to these character toys, Japanese market, anime toys, the market was behind the curve, but now they're really starting to explode in value. So as for the toy, looks like I got to clean it in there. It's like a little schmutz hiding in there. I don't know how the hell to even get in there to clean it. But, you know, it's got this badge like he's the sheriff or something. You know, maybe he's the honorary sheriff. And here he is, looking all sheepish in there. He doesn't look as cool as he does on the box, right? Look on the box, he's all business, all purpose, focus. Like, get out of my way. Over here, he's kind of wimpy looking. Like, don't bother me. Look at that. But anyway, he's still cool. Here's the professor all happy. His license plate says Z-110, made in Japan. They should have put made in Germany for the Mercedes. And you have the Mercedes logo on the wheel. Here's the bottom, nothing too spectacular. Let's see if this cable is going to... I'm turning the steering wheel, you can see it barely moves it with the steering. And as for the other side, I would imagine looks the same, except they should have put URAN in the other side. The cockpit's really cool in there. Look at that. Nicely detailed. And of course, you got your front end with the Mercedes three-pointed star. And that's that. Now, I checked it. At first, it wasn't even working, but then I kind of messed around with it, monkeyed around with it, and I got it to do a few things. This is one of them. So this is reverse. You can see it's struggling. And then this button here. Let's look at him with the doors open, by the way. And it needs a really good cleaning in there. Who wouldn't want a gull-wing Mercedes? Sometimes I'm tempted to buy one of those new gull-wing Mercedes. You know, but it's one of those things, I know I'd never drive it. That's reversed. Come on, you're supposed to roll. Man, that motor is straining. Let's see if I take it off. Look at that. So as the doors open, it moves forward. Then it stops for the doors to retract, close, and then it goes a little bit. So it's not like a speedster, that's for damn sure. You know, but it's cool. It's cool. I mean, who doesn't like gull-wing doors opening? Anyway, that is your rare Astro Boy Mercedes with a little schmutz on them. And I guess I need some Q-tips to stick in there and just polish them up a bit. Anyway, let me know what you think. I think it's pretty cool. Cool colors, too. You know what would be really cool and psychotically crazy if you did it? Go get a vintage Golden Mercedes and paint it in this color scheme and put Astro Boy and the professor in the back. Could you imagine? Like, people would go insane. Now, I think they make reproductions, though, like these gull wing bodies. So it would be kind of cool, like, if you got... Like, I don't even know how cheap it would be, but like if you got a gull wing replica to put, I don't know if they put them on a Corvette chassis or something, and just like painted it up to look like the Astro Boy gull wing. That would be so cool. Anyway, with that, let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your time as always. And don't forget to thumb up the video. And if you're a lurker, you know what? Do me a favor and subscribe. With that, thank you again, and I'll talk to you later.